One of the common questions I get is just this: what makes for a successful practice, or what makes for a successful team? And I'll tell you, the answer is pretty much always the same. It's just that it's a three-part answer. And those are the things I'm going to answer for you in this video. My name is Kevin Johnson, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, an online university. So one of the things I've noticed over the last 25 years of working with clients is that there's just a few core ingredients to what makes for that successful team or that successful practice. And quite honestly, this is the same thing if you went to Chick-fil-A, or if you went to Starbucks, or if you went to a real estate office. It's the same concepts no matter where you go. In fact, I'm going to probably give you a bonus item at the end, number 4. And so the first and foremost thing that everyone needs to focus on, and the first and foremost thing that I can always identify in a successful practice, is just this: they stay focused on solutions. And you might think, well, that's kind of common sense, but it's not. It's not common sense. It's because we get daily distractions. When you start to run behind in your schedule, when you have team members that call out sick, when you have team members that call in and say, I'm not working here anymore, when you have team members that decide to not do their job anymore, maybe you have something, health related, there are numbers of reasons why people get off track. And then when we get off track, sometimes we don't stay focused, and there's a number of reasons why. Usually it's all up here. A lot of it is we just choose not to stay focused. Sometimes we need to have these things written down. So you have to have the end point in mind. You have to know, where am I headed? I was literally talking to a client, a brand new client yesterday, and we were talking about this very thing. And they've tried things in the past. And the fact that they didn't have goals, they didn't have their objectives, they didn't have where they wanted to be in 1 to 3 years. I know you've heard all these things before. This is going to get to my number 4 on this list. So the solutions is, we don't stay focused on, or when we stay focused on solutions, it helps us stay off of our frustrations. It helps us stay away from the things that drive us crazy every day. It helps us stay away from all the things that are essentially distractions from the solutions. So you might put together a new schedule, and then all of a sudden the schedule falls apart. You might hire a new team member. You might do a number of different things. Those were solutions. The solution didn't work out, or maybe today it did not work out. So we need to stay focused on solutions, and sometimes we need to hire an implant coordinator to run that element of our business and to grow that segment of our business. You may also have, again, like I said, with a schedule, you might reformulate your whole schedule. You might make it to where you run on time, it's super productive, and that's one of the strategies I work on with clients. So when I see clients that grasp those solutions and they do not let go, that's one of the elements that I see that will make for a successful team and a successful practice. They don't stay, and if you think back to your team meetings, when you present a solution and some folks start saying, but, patients won't like that. But Susie won't agree to that. And they start coming up with all the different reasons why something's not going to work. That's an example where we did not stay solutions focused. Now, mind you, we always have to think things through. We need to make sure that this looks like it's going to work, or it has a chance to work. And that's where keeping the entire team, it's not just one person, it's the whole team, and keeping everyone solutions focused. But being solutions focused sometimes requires one person to stay true to that. And again, we may need to get it documented. We may need to have something that is a daily reminder that these are the solutions we're working towards. That comes to number 2 on my list. And that would be the teams and the practices that I see that have quantity and quality of solutions. So let's just say you have a fantastic office manager and they are take charge. They're willing to get in the trenches and get things done. You have maybe a lead assistant, maybe you have somebody else, and they're just willing to jump in and just make things happen. That's fantastic, right? Yes and no. It's yes, because they're willing to jump in and take care of all these things. They're willing to drive change. They're willing to be a change agent. But let's just say you have 10 team members. You have 5 quality solutions of how you're going to change your practice. Again, it might be your schedule, it might be changing your phone greeting or your new patient process. It might be the fact that we're going to keep an eye on our KPIs every day. You have a list of 5 really big changes or big solutions that are going to instigate change in your practice. Awesome. What if instead of one person that was championing that change, it was 10? So you have 5 great solutions. What if all 10 people were on board and they're willing to jump in? Now, mind you, some are going to be maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, that lead assistant I was talking about, maybe she's a 10 out of 10. Awesome. What if one of the other team members is only a 5 out of 5? It's better than 0. Okay, and it's very possible that once that person starts to get a taste of change and they start seeing the result of the things that they're doing, maybe they get excited and they say, you know what, I'm now going to be a 7 out of 10. So when you start thinking about that second thing on my list, which is the quantity and the quality of the changes that you're making, imagine if you get the entire team on board. And again, if instead of one person's driving it, you have 10 people driving it, you will see changes, and you will see changes happening faster. So that brings us to the velocity of that said change. So when I start seeing practices, and I've seen some that, I always think back to this one example. I worked with this really, really large practice. They had, I believe, 7 doctors in this practice, had a huge team, and they worked, because they were in a New York metropolitan area, they were working 7 days a week. I think it was 8 to 8, Monday through Friday, and 8 to 4 on the weekends. Now, mind you, not everyone worked all those hours. They had shifts and shift changes and people that worked their 40. It's great. But can you imagine getting all those folks together? So they had to instigate change, and they did not have team meetings for the longest time. They wouldn't do it for 6 months. They did not get everyone on board, so they did not have velocity of change. They had a few team members who were focused on making some of those things happen, but some people didn't understand why we were doing things. Some people didn't understand the process to make things happen. So the velocity of change came when they chose to start having the team meetings to get everyone on board. That was awesome. So the velocity and the real change for them came in the second 6 months that I worked with them. And they literally were, in the first 6 months, moving along, and then suddenly when they've got everyone on board, it was that velocity, and it literally took off. And I've seen it time and time again with clients. It's not about needing to have team meetings, which you should, but it was about getting everyone on board and everyone being interested. And that's when you saw that velocity of change. When you get the entire team behind it, you will start to see things, and it'll surprise teams, it'll surprise doctors, it will surprise managers. When they see everyone get on board, they're like, this I had never imagined this happening. I would have never in 100 years bet my paycheck, much less a cup of coffee, that this would have worked out to the way in which it did. I would have never expected this kind of growth in a short period of time. That's the velocity of change came from getting everybody on board. The fourth thing that I'm just going to talk about is kind of the bonus thing at the end, is the fact that it requires taking action. And that too, just like the first thing, you got to have solutions, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking action. Because if we don't take action, there's just a list of really good ideas. You have to take action. And this is something that we need to reinforce with the team. They need to know exactly what's expected of them. You need to have meetings with them to talk about the progress. Everything is about taking action. And if you want examples of some of these things, I'm happy to jump on, talk with you at some point, jump on a Zoom call, jump on a phone call with you, and talk about some of these things with your practice, because some people just can't visualize it for themselves. They don't know what to do with this. They know that changes need to happen, but they don't know how to instigate it. They don't know how to drive it, and that's what I do with clients. I help them identify the right solutions, the quality of the solutions, quantity of solutions, because some, when they get all the team members on board, now maybe we have 15 different ideas that we're implementing all at the same time. And imagine you having 15 different things that are going to move the needle for your practice, all happening at the same time, instead of one person trying to drive 2 or 3 things. That's where you start to see the really big changes in practice. And when you see that big change in the practice, you start to see people's attitudes improve, you see the collections improve, you see the profit improve, you see patient experience improve. And if that's the kind of thing that you want, let us know, because it's the kind of thing that we help clients with all the time. So again, my name is Kevin Johnson. I'm the CEO of Leverage Consulting, as well as the creator of Leverage U, an online university. If you like content like this, drop a like, drop a subscribe down below. And if you know of other things that you've done in the past or things that you're struggling with, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.